Another beautiful day to all our viewers. Welcome to the first episode in the year 2023 of 411. Thank you so much for joining us, and indeed we're indebted to you, our ever loyal viewers who have definitely been following our conversation starting with 2022 and now getting into 2023. How I wish we could have started on a lighter note. However, we've got very heavy issues that we definitely need to look at, and of course Mr. Kolala is definitely back once again just to get us underway in the year 2023. Thank you so much. Good to see you, and the journey continues.
Nelson, good morning and good afternoon, good evening, and how about the day?
Definitely. No, I've been all right. Thank you so much. Otherwise, how is 2023 going with you?
So far, so good. We thank God that we are in 2023. And, it's one day at a time. That's how we are living in this country. It's one day at a time. Because almost in every part of this country, everyone is complaining. Of course, in terms of the economy, of course, it has become a bit biting. And to this effect, I think you don't expect that everyone to be fine, because almost each part of this country, you find the farmers that are complaining because of the farm input, which is a problem. You go into the streets, you hear that the street vendors, I think they're being chased from the streets. You go to this other side, you find, especially in the shops, you find that the prices are escalating. You pass this side, that's why we are saying we are living once at a time, but by the God's grace, I think we are surviving.
Definitely. Out of all those key issues that you have highlighted, I'm picking up one particular issue that I want us to dissect today, and that has to be the issue of the government dealing with street vendors. This is not the first time that we have heard government officials threatening street vendors and all that. Is it that we do not have a proper plan in dealing with street vendors?
First and foremost, let me take this opportunity to give kudos and thanks to His Excellency, our Republican President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, I think to stand by his campaign promise. When he was canvassing, as he was trying to lobby the Zambian people to give him a vote. And you saw that, of course, a lot of Zambians, 2.8 plus, I think, braved the night. Braved, of course, even the coordinates to ensure that they had to put its leader, who is no any other than Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. During the time of the campaign, he was very candid and he was very straightforward concerning the issue of the street kids. He was reminding the previous regime, which is the PF government, that there was no need for that government then to ensure that they relieve or remove the street vendors from the streets without first finding the alternative place for them. And because of that, the street kids, of course, including the street vendors and even those who were, of course, participating in this, in here and there, the shops, they made sure that they voted in masses by ensuring that they give support to His Excellency the Republican President so that he could come and find a solution for them. And this is the reason what it led, even, of course, when the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development have made the announcement that yesterday, or the previous Monday, which he made it very clear to say it was the date when the street vendors were supposed to be removed from the street, the entire country. His Excellency the Republican President, together with other stakeholders, when they sat, they resolved to say not for now, not until the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, the local authorities, they find the places where they are supposed to take these street vendors. Remember, Nelson and the Zambian out there, these street vendors, they are making an income which is contributing actually to the GDP of this country. Not only contributing to the GDP of this country, what they are doing, these street vendors, actually, they are making resources which are making now that their homes, their families are surviving. They are surviving out of the merchandise which they are selling in this these streets. You see, most of these families who are coming from these homes, they have nowhere and they have nothing to do apart from at least selling the tomatoes which they are selling the groundnuts, selling those sweets and all these other things. From those very sales, they are getting a small profit, which they are using to buy a capamela. They even buy at least even something in terms of to salt. They buy to sugar. They buy to salad and so forth, and they are making the living. These are the issues which we are talking about. Then you just I think come up with a policy in the morning. I think you just say no, starting from you give it 2 days, where of course that announcement was made on Friday, and the directive was made that come Monday all the street vendors are supposed to be out of the streets. No, that is not the ideal way of dealing with things. The ideal way of dealing with things, first, find the alternative place where these people are supposed to be taken. Then you come up with wait, Nelson. Then you come up with the police who say, now we have found the alternative place where we are taking you. So you who are trading along this street, where you are going to go is to this place. And you are trading along this area, Kolala, this is where you are going to go. And as unlike, you just say you need to remove them from there. Where do you expect them to go?
When you look at the problem of street vending, it's not a problem of today. Government has even been moved to build market shelters so that people can be trading in safe places. Despite all these moves that government has made, not this government, not yesterday's government, but even the successive governments, they have tried
what we were seeing in the previous governments.
Exactly.
What we were seeing in the previous what we have been seeing in the previous governments, MMD did that in trying to abate this street vending. Then Patriotic Front did that in trying to abate the street vending. They built even some of these shelters. What did we see? What we saw, exactly. They started bringing their supporters, the ones whom they were allocating.
My question, Mr. Kolala, is this conversation is really getting heated up, even just from the beginning. My question is, despite all these endeavors that governments have put in place, why do we still have people trading on the streets?
The issue is they have nowhere where they're supposed to trade from.
How about these shelters and markets that government
Those shelters and markets are already occupied by the people who know someone in those structures. If you go in whichever market you are going to go to, you won't find a space where these people can sell from. And remember, Nelson, this is the same issue which we were discussing here pertaining to the issue of power. You know, the issue is, in 1964, after independence, Kaunda built that Kariba Dam. And it is that very Kariba Dam which we are talking about even today. When at that time the people were 4 million, but this time we are told we are 19.6 million. If you are told the statistics which they have given us is a correct statistics, which I think, anyway, I don't want to question that because it's a national statistic, whatever, which he conducted, that we are told we are 19.6 million against the power which were supposed to be given for 4 million people, but we are 19.6 million. Similarly, even the so-called markets which you are talking about, they are being constructed. For example, you construct a market in this area which only can occupy about maybe 100 people. But look at now the geographical area where you have built that market which can only occupy 100 people. Are you saying to say only 100 people are supposed to be there? Me, I'm a street vendor. I understand and I know what it means.
So, Mr. Kolala, are you simply saying we do not have enough markets?
We do not have enough places where we are supposed to take these people. And the reason why they have resorted themselves to look for places where they can be, at least are looking for something to take care of their families, looking for something to take care of themselves. It is because we do not have enough spaces.
But I'm reliably informed that some of the street vendors actually do have stands in these markets, but they prefer to come outside. I took a trip to Counter Square together with Honorable Mike Imposha. We were on a tour with him and, of course, a local government minister, Gary Nkombo, where we were inspecting, the new structure that has been built at Counter Square Stage 1 market there. The structure is complete. Stands are there, but there are no people there, and people still prefer to trade from outside. Is that a government problem?
Look at this matter. Why is it like that when you have a local authority? Because that is the role of the local authority. Where is the local authority? If they have those stands, why not allowing those people whom they have allocated those stands to be selling from there? Because those who have been allocated those stands, they contribute a small contribution to ensure that such markets continue looking clean to the local authority. Now, are you telling me to say the local authority, they are charging nothing? They are charging the pavements where there are no people. That also comes now to the inertia of the local authority in such areas. But in most areas, I can attest to that fact. And even after this program, we can even have a tour together. We go around this, even we sample some of the places in Lusaka. You are going to prove what I'm talking about. It is not about that the spaces are there. No, the spaces are limited, and most of those spaces have been occupied by those who matters. Yes, when you realize that I don't have what to do, what do you expect? These are the ones now who have been offloaded themselves outside. And in addition to that, there is also another aspect which is coming in terms of the street vending. Also, our good colleagues, those who have the shop owners, our good colleagues who are owning the shops, what are they doing? Instead of allowing those who have nothing to do, they are now employing people to be getting things from their shops. Then they start now going around to start competing with those who do not have. These are some of the issues which we are talking about. Now, in such circumstance, how are they getting now the tax? Because those goods which are coming out of the shop, then they are being taken, being sold by those we are calling street vendors, meaning those they are evading the tax. Where is the ZRA? These are some of the issues which we are talking about. We are talking about the institution of governance. What are they doing? Is it only you concentrate on those who, what I've seen in this country? You find that the cases become heavy and become whatever. When you start to introducing yourself to say I'm a politician, then that's when now the eyes now start looking at you. What is he trying to do? What is he saying? You try now to start fixing. That's one individual. You find the entire system now moves from what is supposed to do, now moving to this just one individual. This is the thing which we are saying should not be the thing in this country. You find no, wait, because what I'm talking about, that is what is happening. Go in Kamwala. Go there in Kamwala. I'm saying go there in Kamwala.
Exactly.
You find that the owners of those shops, instead of selling their merchandise in their shops, they are giving the boys, getting the goods from their shops, giving the boys to start selling in the streets. And these are the issues which we are talking about. These guys, meaning they are evading the tax which is supposed to be used for you and for me, even for ensuring that this country is developed. So the street vending, it can only be done when there is a there is a proper program which is done. Let them look at it on the bigger picture. The reason why where you went with Michael, which minister did you say you went with?
We went with Gary Nkombo.
Yes,
because we went with Mike Imposha.
When you went with Gary Nkombo, do you know the reason why those people who are on those shelves, they are moving out also from those shelves to come and start selling on the street? It's because of what they have seen that the government has allowed, that the owners of the shops, bigger shops, they are the ones who are now sending these people to start. Then themselves they say, why should we remain here? Since the people they are not allowing.
Don't you think that's a reason why this problem has to be dealt with drastically, and measures have to be put in drastically. If it means putting up ultimatums, let's then put them there, because at the end of the day, if at all street vending is a problem, has to be dealt with. Mr. Kolala, if at all street vending is a problem, we have to deal with it drastically. And we have to make sure that we push people into these infrastructures that we have built for the sake and the goodness, so that these people should be trading in very good sanitations.
Why should be street vending be more restricted to a vulnerable person like me, and to those who have the street vending is not as strict as it is?
Maybe let me even ask this question, Mr. Kolala. Is street vending really a problem?
Street vending, to me, it is not a problem. If at all, it is handled well.
Because how should it be handled?
Because street vending is not only in this country, mind you. Street vending is not only in this country. Even in other countries, it is there.
So what's the difference between the way we are handling street vending here in Zambia and the way other countries do handle it? Because I have seen countries like Thailand.
Yeah.
You'd find that Thailand, they even create market along the roads.
Yeah.
Throughout the night, they're trading there.
Yeah.
Go to Singapore, go to Japan, go to China,
everywhere. I'm talking of.
So what we are even. Why is Zambia looking at street vending as a problem?
They are looking at street vending as a problem because, one, as Elia said, you and I and the people we have given authority and power, whom we have delegated authority and power to do things right, there is somewhere where they are failing to do that thing right. What do I mean by saying what I'm saying? What I mean is that instead of them ensuring that they let those people practice this street vending in a clean and proper manner, such is not happening at all. Why? Where is our local authority? I still emphasize on local authority. Local authority has a bigger role to play. But the only thing which we normally see in most local authorities, the interest is just only on the fees which they levy to our good colleagues, those even who are in the streets and those who are in the markets. That is their concentration. But when they attend, they correct these fees. What do they do in terms of paying back? These are some of the issues. Then secondly, the other biggest problem in this country when you are talking of street vending is, of course, the issue where they are supposed to do to answer the core of nature. It becomes very difficult. And these are some of the issues. Some of those countries which we have mentioned, they have, of course, the movable lavatories, where you find, of course, those who are making also resources. You find in this place they are
call them toilets.
The toilets, yes. The toilets are all over. Even in these areas, you find that in the public places, the toilets are all over. But what happens in our country? Are you going to find the toilets? The answer is no. And because of that, what do you expect to come out of that? Those are the bad things which are in the street vending in our country.
So don't you think those are good reasons to get rid of street vending?
If they are good reasons, why not first put? You need to put first you need to put the alternative before you remove them. Yes, you need to look at the bigger picture. First, look at the bigger picture. The bigger picture is when you remove them this drastically, what will happen in our homes? Are you going to start sleeping? Our good colleagues, the ministers, they have 24/7 police at watch. 24/7 in the morning and in the evening and in the night. They have 24/7. What about you and what about me? And those people, they need to survive. Do you think they will simply be looking and watching? The answer is no. And that's why we are saying, yes, we have seen to say, allowing the street vending continue in the manner it is now. We are precipitated ourselves in terms of course, having the diarrhea diseases such as cholera, typhoid fever, dysentery, and so forth. Such diseases Of course, they are looming because of such kind of a situation. Yes, they are looming, but are they there? Not at all for now. Are you getting my point? But if you remove them, all these who are doing such works, you take them in their homes, and they have nothing to do. Within 24 hours, how many homes are going to be broken? In terms of wanting, because in Sala in Bemba, we say in Sala hunger has no respect. You can even a person like you put on very nice glasses, in a tie, in a jacket. You can even go and beg from a mad person, a lunatic. That's what hunger can do. And to this effect, we are trying to prevent such. And by preventing such is allowing these people trading in the manner they are trading, but we find the best alternative way of ensuring that as they are trading, some of such fears which we have, for example, most of those diarrheal diseases, they come due to defecation. Of course, you know that. So how can we sort out the issue of defecation? Is by providing movable toilets, which people can even be paying from that. You know, those are some of the issues which other countries have done that, and it is working very well. Okay. Or if not, if that cannot work, then find another alternative place where you can take them and allow the shop owners to stop themselves to start putting their merchandise at the door of their shops or along the streets of their shops. Let them stop that, so that I think there should be an equilibrium.
Okay, you're still watching 411. Our main the topic of discussion today is street vending. How do we deal with street vending? And is street vending really a problem, especially in an area, for instance, Lusaka town center? Is street vending a problem in an area where it is known for trading? Now, Mr. Kolala, let me bring in another important aspect here, which obviously has also been attributed to be a very big problem, and that has to do with unfair competition. Like I mentioned, some of the people who actually are trading in the street today, when you ask them, they do have stands in some of these markets that government has built. But they say, us trading in this, they would rather just end somewhere so business. How do we deal with that particular kind of, because now it involves the general public, it involves the citizens themselves, and
I've rightly put it very plainly and clearly. The people who have caused mostly this street vending are the owners of the shops. The owners of the shops are the ones, actually, even where you call street vending, actually, to me, I can call it corridor vending. Because most of these vending is done in the corridors of these shops. Mostly that's where it is done from. And the owners of these shops, they are the ones who are now removing their merchandise from their shops, putting now along the corridors. And as they are doing that, if somebody's shop is behind this person, what do you expect? Even that person will feel, since my products are not being sold here, let me go and take in front where my colleague has put the merchandise. So let's first deal with the owners of these shops. We talk to them, we find a better way of ensuring that an equilibrium is there. If we are going to say, let's stop street vending in terms of the merchandise. Then let where those merchandise are supposed to be in those areas. And if we are saying no, since these people, they are complaining to say no, they have no space where to put them. Find the space where to put them. Look at the way, for example, a good example is China. I think you have been in China before. I've been in China before. When you are in China, you find that where they make, for example, they make clothes is a different area from where they make shoes, and from where they make watches, from where they make blankets, from there. So this area alone is just an area of suits. Only suits. You won't find shoes there. You won't find what you are going to find are just the suits. Those are some of the issues which we should start thinking through as a country. Should we start making specific areas where we could put specific products? These are some of the issues which I think we need to learn if at all such a thing is moving well. You could move about 1.5 hours driving to go and find the shops where they sell shoes. You can take another 30 or 40 minutes where you are going to find a shop where they sell, for example, the wrist watches. These are some of the issues which you are talking about. Because of that, I think if you are concentrated in terms of selling this, concentrate in such kind of a business. These are some of the issues which we are talking about. And moreover, as long as the government won't do or won't react to the people's needs, people will continue to be in the streets. As long as the government won't allow the fair play in terms of the selling in the streets, people will continue to be in the streets. And moreover, for your own information, even for the information of the Zambian people, the role of the government, it is very clear. The role of the government, whichever literature you are going to read, including the law, the role of the government is to provide for its citizenry, including providing where they are supposed to sell from. It is the role of a government. That's what it entails. Protecting the citizens, ensuring that Mr. they are not different, they are not disadvantaged. It is the role of the government.
Whenever we are talking about street vending, we limit street vending to town. Look at the arrangement of town, the way our town center or our CBD, as we call it, is arranged. Do you think it's easy to control street vending in the way our town is arranged? Before I even bring it back to our local communities?
Look here. These are some of the issues which I appeal time and again to our good colleagues in the local authority. In the local authorities, I think let's stop thinking within the blanket. Just where you are, you have covered yourself in this blanket. So, what you think is the Lusaka CBD. Lusaka CBD is finished. There is no place. Why don't you think of expansion? Why don't you think of ensuring that you start finding alternative places? These are some, start engaging, start discussing with Kafue, start discussing with Chongwe, start discussing with the Chibombo, start discussing with Shibuyunji. These are some, start discussing with Chilanga. These are some of the issues which we are talking about. We are too much congested in Lusaka. Why? Because most of the things have been concentrated in the CBD. These are the issues which we are talking about. There is a multi whatever zone which they call about it as you go along this road and so forth. What have you put there to attract a lot of people to go that side? Why can't you, of course, open up some of those places even in other areas? Then you put something which will be so much attractive, such that you allow the people to go and invest from those areas. You'll find that maybe the investment is only maybe attached to our good colleagues who are coming from outside the country, who wants to come and invest in this country. Maybe those are the ones we are giving the tax relief, the tax rebate and so forth. But our own here, it becomes very difficult. If someone wants to go and start selling vitumbua that side, it will be the same everything. But there will be nothing like, those who want to start selling vitumbua that side, you will start buying salad. If here or cooking oil, salad is whatever, cooking oil, you start buying cooking oil instead of what these people in the CPD they are buying at 10 kwacha. Yourselves you will be buying at 8 kwacha. It will give a lot of these people to come out of that just because of that 2 kwacha. You are going to offload them from here and you are going to take them that side because of that relief. And a lot of people would want even to go. Just look at the Kabwata. There's a Kabwata market here. I believe you know where it is. I think it is. Actually, is it a Tuesday or
exactly, Tuesday or Thursday market? Exactly.
Tuesday or Thursday market at Kabwata.
I wanted to drive you to that particular point as well.
Do you see how a lot of people flock to go to that area? Why? Because during that period, I think you will find that most of the merchandise, those which you could have bought at Soweto market, you could have bought at 10 kwacha, you are going to buy it at 8 kwacha. They only remove maybe 1 kwacha or 2 kwacha, and because of that, Tuesday and Thursday market in Kabwata, you find it is packed. A lot of people are going there. Similarly, it can happen if that is done at multi-purpose zone. I don't know how you call it, the way you
The
call
M-phase.
it. Yes, the M-phase, the way you call it. Similarly, even people, they are going to be going there because there is an attraction. And if such kind of markets could have been open in so many areas, it can offload. Do you see people selling the same Kabwata market? Do you see people selling outside the Kabwata market? Is inside. That's where they sell from their merchandise. Do they sell outside? The answer is no. So these are some of the issues which we are talking about. You can sort out such problems just by, of course, thinking from outside the blanket where you have vernacular yourselves. That's where the biggest problem is. The third part of it is our good colleagues, the local authority. In most areas, the concentration is the levy, the fees which they levy our brothers and sisters. That's their concentration, and in not ensuring that they do what they fulfill the mandate which they have been given to do.
Still talking about the issue of street vending, definitely you can as well be part of the conversation. You can simply send us a text on the number that is scrolling on your screens, so you can give us feedback in terms of what you really think is a major problem when it comes to dealing with street vending. All these successive governments that have come and gone, they have seemingly failed to deal completely with street vending. The Patriotic Front at some point got rid of street vendors. They chased all street vendors away. Was that not a good indication? They told street vendors go back into the market. I think Michael Sata did that, but consistency came at play because the coming government, they brought them back, and they gave one particular reason. And I remember, I think UPND, when they were in government, they also asked the same question. You want to get rid of street vendors off the street. Where are you going to take them? But now, again, it has resurfaced under the same UPND.
I have asked this question time and again, including to the UPND. I've told them this. The people who elected the current government are not totally UPND members. That is out. It's not the card carriers of UPND, the 2.8. No, not at all. Others are those who got frustrated. They were full-time PF Patriotic Front members, but they got frustrated because of being what you are talking about. They were chased. But here is now the savior who is coming to them, who is telling them, when you put me in power, I'm going to find an alternative to this problem. Don't chase them from the streets. Let them be selling in the streets. And yes, because it is a norm even in other countries. But as we are putting it, let those threats of the street vending, being I think being talked about, and when you are being talked about and being rectified by the power that be, and among such threats, as Elias said, is where to go and answer the call of nature. So that is the biggest battle out of all. The moment they are going to find where to ensure that these people have found a place where to help themselves, then that is going to sort out most of these problems, which normally they say the problems which comes with the street vending. In most cases, I think the street vending is threatened during the rain season, like this period of time. That's when the street vending is threatened. And yes, it's very true. And we are not denying that fact that street vending in our country is a nuisance in whatever, because of where do you expect our people to go and answer a call of nature,
but
which
Kolala,
is very important. And this call of nature,
unfair?
It brings about a lot of diarrheal diseases.
Mr.
And
Kolala,
do we want to be suffering from
Mr.
this
Kolala,
the answer is no.
Don't you think it's also unfair whenever we are talking about street vending? We are just referring to our mothers, fathers, grandfathers, cousins who are trading in town,
including ourselves.
Yeah. But how about our brothers who actually trade in the roads themselves? Are we not classifying that as street vending as well? Just recently, let me give you an incident. Just we have these brothers and sisters of ours who sell bags, tomatoes, fruits, packaged in plastics along the road. Motoka paide pita bamubutukira. Oh, nishinga. Just this week, somebody lost control just near
and hit on one of those.
Exactly.
Those are some of the dangers,
of course. So when we are talking about getting rid of street vending, do we mean we're going to get rid of these guys as well?
That's what it means. And even during that time which we are referring to, during the time of Michael Chilufya-Sata, when he removed, all those people were removed. Wherever you passed, I think it was very clean. There was nothing like you are going to see these persons. Even where to find tomato. People themselves, ourselves, we started complaining. Yeah, at least we are used as along the road. You can even buy tomato. Now this time around you can't do that, and so we started complaining. Anyway, that's the nature of a human being. But of course, that complaint is genuine. To me, it is a bit genuine. It is not genuine. It's both. Why am I saying it's both? It's genuine in that these people, they need a living. They want to live as well. Through the selling, that kind of selling of tomato, the vegetables and so forth, they are earning a living out of that, which you and me, we have failed to provide for them so that they earn a living. It is your role as a government to ensure that you provide that very person. But because you can't manage to provide for the entire 19.6 million. No, it's not possible. And there's no government under the sun, including in US, including in Europe, which has provided for each and every citizen in its country. Not at all. How about the developing country like ours? It is very, very difficult. But here is the person who has come up with the best initiative. I do not want to become over-dependent to the government. I do not want to remain in the house and put my arms in my hands in between the legs as I'll be waiting for Jesus to come and do miracles through the government to bring, if you are told, to be relief food and so forth. And this person says, no, I have the hands which have been blessed by the Jehovah God, and I have the eyes, I have the brain, I have a piece of land which I can at least cultivate and get something so that I can go and sell for myself. This is the person who is trying to contribute on the GDP of this country, even on the employment provision, because it's an employment. There are others who are even employed by the farmers to say, no, you come, go and sell, then I'll be giving you a commission out of all the sales. These are some of the things which we are talking about, my brother. So on that aspect, it is a positive, allowing these street vendors, including those who gravans all these main roads, let them continue doing that. But of course, on the other side, there are a lot of risks which are there. One of the risks is that, they are in the roads, and these vehicles, they are made by human beings. At any time, I think maybe one can lose control and can bash on them. What will happen? That person will lose life. Of course, even this other person will be put in problems with whatever, all those issues which will be there because of having killed somebody. Away from that, then there are also these, of course, the real diseases which come out of that. Not only that, because of too much congested in the streets, then you are going to allow the pickpockets also. They are going to increase. They will simply squeeze you here and there, especially these chaps from the eastern province. They are just something else because they never knew to say at one point they were going to be blessed with the power, for example, electricity. They are going to see the street lights there. They come, they see the street lights, they even start doing this. They are my tribal cousins. So I think they know why I'm saying what I'm saying. So because of that, now they even name themselves a Bemba name, because they know that a Bemba is interactive, is so jovial, is so loving, is so tender, caring. They name themselves, instead of Banda, they call themselves warrior. Bunda, Bunda, just because of so that they see that is a Bemba.
By the way, by the way, Mr. Kolala, those names, there's nothing attractive about the names that you have mentioned.
So what I'm trying to put
those
forward,
names are ugly names.
What I'm trying to put forward is that
names.
is the sad part of our good friends from the Eastern Province. When they come, they try to get such names. When they get such names, then they also start emulating as if they come from Copper Belt. You know, Copper Belt, there is that sweet language which is used, Vana Kopara, you know, so that they start looking, once they are doing that, they are trying to pick pocketing. And these are some of the sad part of street vending. Because of the congestion of that, you expect such things of whatever. Even the peace of mind of people are going to there.
That you know, street vending provides to local government. Are there any opportunities that, you know, government can try to tap into this into street vending? And on top of that, remember, one of the maybe the reason why the local government ministry actually came out so strong against street vending and giving them a short ultimatum is because one of the key areas that the UPND, since they formed government, have been trying to sort out is the issue of cadarism. And they feel maybe allowing street vending to continue mushrooming like that will also give space for cadarism to get back to the street. So maybe we get rid of street vendors, and cadres will find it very difficult to,
Nelson,
you know.
Nelson, differentiate between the two. These are totally two different and distinct institutes. The Institute of Street Vending and the Institute of Party Gadaism. They're totally different.
Remember,
no, wait.
Remember,
wait,
street vendors are the ones who were complaining as a result of cadres.
Yes,
they were saying cadres were coming to get commissions.
Exactly. The party officials. Those are party not party officials, party members.
And that's the reason why
the party members were going to harass. So they are the party members from the party were going to harass the innocent individuals who were making a living. And that those are the ones which this able government are saying we do not want such kind of party members who are calling themselves party members to go and destabilize and confuse the other citizens who are also part of this country, who are supposed to enjoy being in this country, not a few cliques.
One of the former presidents once said,
yes.
So for you to make sure that you cut on ukulya mwibala, it's better you remove ibala lyaline.
No, look here, ubomba mwibala lya mwibala. Let the party members of whichever political party start benefiting from its own political party. The political party is supposed to come up with something which they are supposed to ensure that they empower their cadres, they empower their supporters. And the empowerment of the supporters is not to come and brutalize the innocent Zambians. Not at all. That we have said no. And to this effect, we are saying thank you to His Excellency, our Republican President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, for having ensured that he has been candid on the issue of the cadres going to brutalize the innocent Zambians, even trying to take advantage of the innocent Zambians, that His Excellency has said, and we are saying thank you to that. So cadres are not the street vendors. Yes, they can be both. You can be a cadre at the same time, you can be a street vendor. But when you are a cadre, it doesn't mean to say you take advantage of everyone. No, you are supposed to be at the equal plate. If it means you are selling beans, let the other person who is selling groundnuts feel the same the way you are feeling. The other person who is selling sample, and the other person who is selling, of course, a peanut, let it be the same.
All right, so our main topic of discussion today was street vending. What could be the lasting solution to street vending? Definitely, you can continue sharing your comments on this particular issue, but otherwise, it is something that even the current government is trying to address. Mr. Kolala, thank you so much for coming through, and hopefully to see you in the next episode.
I'm humbled, Nelson.
Thank you so much.
We need the vendors because that's where they are having a living. If you want to take out the vendors from the streets, find an alternative solution for them.
Finding an alternative solution for them is something that government has to work on? Is it to take back to the market, other markets, enough to accommodate all our mothers, aunties, fathers, cousins who are trading on the streets? If they are not enough, where else are we going to build these markets? Thank you so much for your time. I've been your host, Nelson. Until next time, we Bye and God bless.